In this question, there is a cylindrical space of radius r and a magnetic field of magnitude b is associated with that cylinder. The direction of that magnetic field is in the parallel direction of the axis of the cylinder and inside this plane, and this magnetic field is changing at a constant rate. So we have to plot the magnitude of induced electric field with the distance from the center r, and we have to choose the correct option. So first of all, we can imagine an imaginary loop which is concentric to this loop, and let's suppose this is the loop of a variable radius small r. So if we write down the expression that integration of E dot dl is equal to minus a dB by dt, and the limit would be from 0 to 2 pi small r. You should always remember that the limit of dl is the small element on this loop on which you are calculating the electric field. So it is always important to remember that the limit of dl should be the circumference of this loop on which electric field is induced. So this is E into 2 pi r, because I've already told you that the direction of electric field and dl vector is always in the same direction, and therefore the angle between them is 0 and cos 0 is 1. Now this area is that area with which the magnetic field is associated, and this area can either be equal to the area of the loop or it can be smaller than the area of the loop. This area cannot be the greater area with which the magnetic field is associated. What I mean to say, that this area in this case would be the area of this loop, because we are calculating the electric field induced in only this loop. If we were calculating the electric field induced in this loop, then we would take the complete area. So in this case, the area would be only pi small r square, and the rate is dB by dt, which is constant. It is given that it is constant. So E is equal to minus, we can ignore because we know that we are only concerned about the magnitude. So we can say that E is equal to R by 2 into dB by dt, which is a constant term. Therefore E is directly proportional to R. So the graph would be a straight line till this radius, till R is equal to R. E would be a straight line graph. So option B cannot be possible. Option D is not possible. So from A and C, now we should draw a bigger loop which is having a greater radius than this region, and therefore in this loop the expression would be integration of E dot dl, limit is from 0 to 2 pi r. Now in this case r is greater than, I will write it down again. In this case now r is greater than r, and integration E dot dl is equal to area and into dB by dt. So the limit would be 0 to 2 pi small r, and we know that the angle between E and dl is always 0 degree. So this is E into 2 pi small r. Now this area should be the area with which the magnetic flux is linked. So we know that in this region, this is the empty space, and in this region there is no magnetic field linked. So the area which we are talking about is only that area in which magnetic flux is linked. So the area of this magnetic cylindrical region is pi capital R square. So this is pi capital R square, and it is being multiplied by dB by dt, which is a constant term. So this is also constant and this is also constant. So E is equal to R square dB by dt divided by 2r. So we can say that E is inversely proportional to R, and hence the graph would be a hyperbola. So the correct option would be option number A. Now we move on the next question. In this question, it is given that there is a loop. I am redrawing the loop. There is a loop which is having a magnetic field pointing inside the plane, and this magnetic field is increasing with time. Now there is a C is the center, and there is a conducting rod which is kept like that. I will draw that this is a conducting rod which is kept like that in this region, and this is P and this is Q. So if we see that electric field will be induced in this region due to the time varying nature of magnetic field, but if we draw the loop of electric field, any one loop, so I am drawing this one. So let's suppose this is the loop of electric field, and we know that to oppose this magnetic field which is increasing inside the plane, a electric field would be generated which would be in anti-clockwise sense. So the electric field would be in anti-clockwise sense, like that. So at this point the electric field would be tangentially pointing towards this side, and at this point E would be tangentially pointing towards this side. So this is E. Okay. So we can see that the perpendicular component of this electric field is this is E perpendicular, and this is also E perpendicular, but the parallel component of this electric field is this one. This is E parallel, and the parallel component of this field, the second point of intersection, is also this one. This is E perpendicular, E parallel. So we can see that this electric field has a component which is parallel to the rod, and this component E parallel is pointing from P to Q. So the free electrons of the rod would move in the opposite direction of this electric field, because we know that electron is a negative charge. So the electrons would move in the reverse direction, and they would be accumulated at point P, and the positive charge would be accumulated at point Q. So Q would be at higher potential and P would be at lower potential. So the correct option would be option number B. Now we move on the next question. In this question, there is a uniform magnetic field which is time dependent, and it is confined in a cylindrical region of radius r. This magnetic field is increasing at a constant rate of dB by dt, and there is an electron of charge E which is placed at this point P, and we have to find out the acceleration of this electron when this magnetic field starts to change with time. So this is very simple, that we have to first find out the electric field induced, and this would be calculated by this expression: E dot dl is equal to minus A into dB by dt. Now the limit would be from 0 to 2 pi capital R, and this is E into 2 pi capital R is equal to, we can ignore this negative sign, as we are only concerned about the magnitude of electric field. So this is pi capital R square, and the dB by dt is constant. So cancelling out this pi and this R with R, so E is equal to R into dB by dt upon 2. This is the electric field. Now this dB by dt is a constant term, and the force acting on this electron F will be QE. Now the charge of this electron is E, so Q is written as E. So this is E R upon 2 into dB by dt. And the acceleration of this electron is force upon mass, so F upon m. So it is E R by 2m into dB by dt. So we can see that this is the expression of acceleration, and the direction would be, see, we can see that this magnetic field is increasing. So for increasing magnetic field, the induced electric field would be pointing in anti-clockwise sense. So this is the induced electric field. So if this is electric field, then the force acting on a negative charge in the electric field is always in the opposite direction of the electric field. So the force and the acceleration of this electron would be in the opposite direction. So it would be towards left, and this would be the acceleration A. So the correct option will be option number A. Now we move on the next question. In this question, it is given that there is a neutral metallic ring. You can draw the diagram. There is a neutral metallic ring in which the magnetic field is associated, and this magnetic field is pointing, let's suppose it is pointing inside the plane. It is not mentioned in the question that what is the direction of this magnetic field, but we are assuming that it is pointing inside the plane. So this magnetic field is of increasing nature, and it is increasing with time. Now we can see that that we have to predict that ring will start to translate, ring will start to rotate, or ring will slightly contract, or ring will start to rotate about diameter. So first of all, we can see that if this ring is placed in this magnetic field, then there is no initial current present in this ring, and therefore we can see that there would be no initial force which would be acting on this ring. But as this ring is placed in a time dependent magnetic field, there would be some induced current in this ring, and this induced current would be in anti-clockwise sense, because this magnetic field is pointing inside the plane of this screen, and it is increasing with time. So to decrease the change of this magnetic field, the induced current would be moving in anti-clockwise circular sense. So this is the direction of induced current. Now we can see that this induced current is flowing in this ring, and let us suppose that there is a small element of some length dl at this point. I am drawing with some other color. This is a small element of length dl, and if I predict the direction of force by Fleming's left hand rule, then the magnetic field is pointing in the downward direction, and the current is flowing in this direction. Magnetic field is in the downward direction. Therefore the force acting on this element would be like that. This is F, and in this element the force acting would be like that. This is F. So this, for that element, the force would be in this direction, and for this element the force would be in this direction. So you can see that net force on this ring will be 0, and neither this force is creating any torque. So this ring will not translate, and neither this ring will rotate, but it will contract slightly because this force is contracting the ring. Now this is one conventional method to consider that whether this ring will contract or it will expand, but there is a very simple concept that I can I can tell you that if you can see that this magnetic field associated with this ring is increasing, then the tendency of the ring would be always to decrease this flux. And to decrease this flux, the ring will try to contract, because by contracting, ring will decrease its area, and due to decreased area, the flux will be decreased. So to decrease the flux, ring will contract and it will try to decrease its area. So you can easily say that to decrease the increasing flux, ring will contract as its area will decrease. So you need not to find out the direction of forces, and irrespective of the fact that magnetic field is pointing outside the plane or inside the plane, if it is increasing, then ring will contract, and if it is decreasing, then to increase the flux, the ring will expand. This is quite simple. Now we move on the now the answer would be option number C. Now we move on the next question. Thank you.